In December 2025, the stock market didn't cheer for the biggest media deal of the decade. It panicked. Netflix announced they were buying Warner Bros. Discovery for $82.7 billion. They bought Harry Potter, Batman, and the crown jewels of Hollywood. And in response, Wall Street damned the stock. Why? Because investors didn't see a victory lap. They saw a rescue mission and realized that the very company that killed cable TV had just spent $82 billion to become the next cable TV. Today, we decode this crisis. We'll expose the invisible villain stealing their audience, the secret tab moat nobody talks about, and the global war in India that crashed their pricing. We'll see how they are rebuilding the very rival they destroyed. And the shop stream future, the only way Netflix can justify that $82 billion price tag without going bankrupt. Stay with me when the story unfolds. It's been 15 years ever since Netflix built a clean state strategy, a grand place I'll call the sanctuary. The promise was almost religious: no ads, no sports, no noise. It was a safe space where you paid a premium to escape the chaos of cable TV. And for a while, it worked. They hit 200 million subscribers. They became the default button on your remote. But sanctuaries have a fatal flaw. They are expensive to maintain. By 2025, Netflix ran out of human. Everyone who wanted a subscription already had one. Growth stalled, and the stock is tanked. This explains the shift in Ben Thompson's aggregation theory. In phase 1, Netflix aggregated content. The goal was prestige. Think of shows like The Crown. These shows are like steak dinner. They are expensive, delicious, and award-winning. But here's the problem with steak. You eat it once, you get full, and you turn off the TV. But in phase 2, the game changed to aggregating attention. Netflix realized they don't need you to be impressed. They need you to be addicted. And it turns out, the best way to hold attention isn't steak. It's popcorn. So they changed. Popcorn content such as reality TV, dating shows are background noise. It's cheap to make, and you don't eat it once. You eat it until you feel sick. Prestige drama gets you to sign up, but noise gets you to stay. And in the new economy, noise is more profitable than art. Not only that, this popcorn content could position Netflix for a new kind of business shift, the one that reshapes how viewers interact with shows. Here's a hint. It is e-commerce. We'll break down what that means later in this video. For now, let's focus on art, which is steak dinner content, and noise, which is popcorn content. When you trade art for noise, you don't just lose prestige. You lose the people who built it. The shift from steak to popcorn had a casualty. It's the creators. In the golden age, Netflix gave directors a blank check. Today, they give them an algorithm. We call this the completion rate trap. Netflix doesn't care if a show is good. They care if you finish episode 1 in one sitting. What if a show starts slow? The algorithm kills it. This is why complex, slow-burn masterpieces get cancelled after one season. While is it cake or is it something else, they get renewed instantly. The result is a talent drain. Top directors like Christopher Nolan are fleeing back to traditional studios that promise theatrical releases. Netflix is becoming a factory for content that is designed to be watched, not designed to be remembered. So, if the talent is leaving, how is Netflix still standing? Because while they were losing the art, they were crafting the perfect science behind. Before we look at what they stream, we have to look at how they stream. Because Netflix has a secret weapon that Disney and HBO don't have. It is called Open Connect. Have you ever noticed that when you hit play on Netflix, it starts instantly, but when you use HBO Max or Paramount, it buffers? That isn't an accident. Most streaming services use AWS, which is the Amazon Web Services, or public CDNs to send you video. It's like sending a package through the public post office. It gets stuck in traffic. Netflix built their own private FedEx. They manufacture their own hardware, the red boxes called Open Connect appliances, and physically install them inside your internet service provider's building. When you watch Stranger Things, you ain't streaming it from a server in California. You are streaming it directly from a red box down the street. This tech mode is why Netflix feels premium. But here is the irony. Even the best technology is useless if you get locked out of the world's biggest market. The most critical battle for Netflix isn't happening in Hollywood. It's happening in Mumbai. In the West, Netflix is the king. In India, it is the outsider. In 2024, the richest man in Asia, Mukesh Ambani, made a move that shattered Netflix's global ambitions. He didn't partner with Netflix. He merged his telecom giant Jio with Disney Plus Hotstar. Why Disney? And why not Netflix? Because of control. Netflix is a walled garden. They refuse to let Ambani control the pricing or the brand. Disney, on the other hand, was desperate. They handed Ambani the keys. The result is a monopoly called JioStar. They own the internet, JioFiber. They own the cricket IPL rights. And now they own the Disney catalog. It is the perfect data pipe. So how did Netflix counterattack? Did they leave? No, they swallowed their pride. Netflix executed a strategy of strategic humility. First, they launched the sachet strategy, the mobile-only plans for $2 a month. Second, they stopped trying to be Hollywood and started being Bollywood. They canceled niche shows and poured money into the Kapil Sharma show, the mass-market comedy that appeals to the heartland. And finally, the ultimate surrender? Bundling. You can now get Netflix bundle inside your Tata Play bill or your Airtel plan. They realized that to survive in India, they couldn't be the castle. They had to be part of the plumbing. But while Netflix was fighting a price war in Mumbai, they left their back door open in America. They didn't see the phantom coming. Enter Tubi. While Netflix was fighting regulatory wars, a free app owned by Fox was winning the war for popcorn. Do you remember Netflix's attention addition strategy earlier? Yes, exactly. Tubi was polishing and quietly seizing the popcorn territory. In mid-2025, a shocking data point crossed the wire. Tubi officially surpassed Disney Plus in total TV time. Think about that. A free app filled with old movies and reality reruns beat the Mouse House. For those who don't speak Hollywood slang, the Mouse House means Disney. We are talking about a free app streaming 15-year-old episodes of Kitchen Nightmares, outperforming The Empire that owns Star Wars, Marvel, and the Avengers. Low-budget trash beat billion-dollar treasure. Now, you might ask, how does Tubi win with old jank like Columbo? Here is the genius of the thrift shop model. Netflix spends $200 million to make one movie like The Gray Man. If it flops, they lose a fortune. Tubi goes to the Hollywood goodwill. They buy the rights to 5,000 old episodes for pennies on the dollar. They are dumpster diving for content that Netflix ignores. But to the viewer, it's comfort food. It turns out, millions of people would rather watch a rerun of Hell Kitchen for free than pay $20 to watch an extravagant prestige drama they might possibly hate. Tubi proved that volume beats quality if the price is zero. So, Netflix was bleeding talent, bleeding in India, and bleeding casual viewers to Tubi. They had to stop the bleeding. To do that, they had to break their blood oath. This brings us to the rebundling. Ted Sarandos, the man who famously said, "Content is king," is now betting his legacy on a different truth: skill is king. Look at the numbers from May 2025. The Netflix ads plan hit 94 million monthly active users. It now accounts for 55% of all new sign-ups. Now, if you've been a subscriber for years, you might be thinking, I have never seen an ad on Netflix, and I might be accused of serious bluffing. But save your blame for a second before you hear the next part. That is the option by design. You are a legacy user. Netflix hides the ad from you because you pay the premium price. For the majority of new people joining today, Gen Z, student, budget-conscious families, Netflix is no longer a commercial-free sanctuary. It is just television. The ad-free Netflix is effectively dead for the mass market. And look at what they are adding. Live NFL games, WWE wrestling. They ain't trying to be HBO anymore. They are trying to be NBC. They are rebuilding the cable bundle piece by piece inside an app. But cable bundle isn't even the scariest comparison. If you pay attention closely to understand how lost Netflix really is, we have to look at the ghost they thought they buried 20 years ago. We need to talk about Blockbuster. In 1997, Reed Hastings built Netflix on 3 major pillars to keep blockbusters. No physical stores meant everything must be digital. No late fees meant one flat price. No commercials meant pure entertainment. Now, look at Netflix in 2026. They are breaking every single pillar. Netflix is launching Netflix House, the massive retail locations where you can eat, shop, and play. They are literally rebuilding Blockbuster stores, but with better food. The subscription has mutated. They raise prices every year. They crack down on passwords. The monthly bill fee is just as punitive as the old $40 late fee. We already know the ads plan is their future. We call this the innovation cycle. It turns out, Blockbuster wasn't stupid. They were just there at the wrong time, wrong moment. They had stores and ads because that's where the margin was. Now, Netflix spent 20 years proving Blockbuster wrong, only to realize that to make money, they had to become them. The disruptor didn't just kill Blockbuster, but they are now thinking about wearing its skin. How desperate it has become drifting so far. The irony is palpable. We cut the cord to escape the bundle. We pay $20 a month to stream the bundle. Has subscription become the new cable bill? You might probably want to rub your eyes twice. But the bitter answer is, yes, you had me right. The scarier part is that even becoming cable TV wasn't enough to save the stock price. They needed something bigger. And football were not enough to truly become the everything app. Netflix needed a nuclear weapon. That weapon is Warner Bros. Discovery. This merger isn't about growth, it's about survival. If Netflix didn't buy WBD, someone else would have. And Netflix cannot afford to lose the back catalog of Friends, The Big Bang Theory, or Harry Potter. But $82.7 billion is a massive debt load, not some pocket change. Wall Street panicked because they knew the math. You cannot pay off that debt just by selling a mere few dollars subscriptions. The margins ain't there. To make this deal work, Netflix has to fundamentally change what it sells. And this brings us to the silent future. The moment Netflix stops being a screen and starts being a store. Welcome to the future. We predict that by 2027, Netflix would add the buy button alongside the play button. We call this the shop stream pivot. Netflix isn't aggregating content anymore. They are aggregating demand. The merger gives them the IP like Harry Potter, DC, Batman, and more. The platform gives them the store, which is the perfect combo set. Imagine watching Emily in Paris and clicking a button to buy her outfit instantly. Imagine watching a cooking show and having the ingredient delivered by Uber Eats before the credit scene rolls. The Netflix ad suite is already building these interactive formats. The only way to justify an $82 billion price tag is if they turn every subscriber into a shopper. This is the only smart move to multiply their existing users to 2 or more fold. Netflix is becoming the mall in your living room, integrating e-commerce directly into shows so viewers can purchase item features in scenes, from a celebrity's jacket to the kitchenware in a dating show, in real time. There is a brutal lesson here. Have you heard about the Revolt's curse? History shows us that every rebel who overthrows a king eventually sits on the throne. And once they sit on the throne, they start acting exactly like the king they destroyed. That's exactly when Netflix disrupted the cable bundle. But now, to survive the stock market, they had to recreate it. So, the next time you see a pause ad on Netflix, or see a shop now button pop up during a movie, don't just get annoyed. Recognize the shift. You ain't paying for the cinema anymore. You are paying for admission to a theme park that wants to sell you merchandise. Enjoying the movie? Just try not to buy the t-shirt. Thanks for staying to the end. Subscribe for more. But before we leave, stay calculated. And unless you love paying late fees, stay insightful.